Shoot the Breeze topic number 2 says, what is it? When is it okay for black people to defend themselves? When is it okay for black people to defend themselves? This comes with an attachment that's going to take us to Instagram. Let me share my screen. Nope, that's not it. All right, so you guys should be able to see my screen. Should hold on a second. Browser lost audio. Got to do it again. If you haven't hit the like button in the meantime, hit that like button. Share the show on your social media. Okay, here we go. So this time you should have it now. So again, Shoot the Breeze topic number 2. When is it okay for black people to defend themselves? Let's watch this video and then we'll discuss.
And then successfully use stand your ground to avoid prison time. That's the backdrop of where this incident took place. Okay. So back in June 2025, Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts were just hanging out with their friends in their Baker County neighborhood when a group of white males, one of them carrying a shotgun, another with a rifle, walked up on them from a nearby intersection. Now, witnesses say that Devin Powers Jr. raised the shotgun and fired at the group where kids were playing outside. Now, Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts grabbed their own weapons and they shot back. Devin Powers later died. Now, after the incident, Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts, they didn't chase anybody. The police were called and they cooperated fully, but they didn't get a self-defense pass. A few months later, a Baker County grand jury indicted them on first-degree premeditated murder. They also face aggravated battery, 3 counts of shooting into an occupied dwelling, and discharging a firearm in public. Now, Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts tried to use Florida Stand Your Ground law to get immunity. Sadly, a judge shut it down. And her reasoning, she said they had every right to fire back when Powers first shot at them, but once Powers started retreating, that right dissolved. I guess it doesn't matter that Devin Powers was still holding his shotgun when he got hit. Now, I spoke with Cissy Jones, who is fighting to get justice for Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts, and they said, quote, the Baker County Sheriff's Office, the state attorney's office, and the judge know that Jamarian and Travis were justified in their actions. 2 armed men approached them and created a well-founded fear in everyone that day, and they responded like heroes. To charge them both with premeditated murder when those 2 men remained armed is purely evil, end quote. Now, Cissy, like others, are just having an issue with what appears to be a 2-tier justice system. Stand your ground is pretty clear. If someone shoots at you, don't you have a right to defend yourself? Now, Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts are sitting in jail waiting for trial, all for the crime of protecting their neighbors from an armed individual. This is Monique with the Black Belt Daily, signing out. Several armed white men fired at a car full of black people, all while children were playing outside. 2 black men from that crowd returned fire. A Florida judge just denied their stand your ground defense, and they're facing first-degree murder charges. Let's get into it. So before we get started, let me just paint a picture of where this incident took place. We in Baker County, babes, a place where you can walk into the county courthouse and see a mural that shows Ku Klux Klan members glorified as heroes on horseback. A county where the white son of a retired deputy killed DJ Broadus, an unarmed black man, and then successfully used stand your ground to avoid prison time. That's the backdrop of where this incident took place, okay? So back in June 2025, Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts were just hanging out with their friends in their Baker County neighborhood when a group of white males, one of them carrying a shotgun, another with a rifle, walked up on them from a nearby intersection. Now, witnesses say that Devin Powers Jr. raised the shotgun and fired at the group where kids were playing outside. Now, Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts grabbed their own weapons and they shot back. Devin Powers later died. Now, after the incident, Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts, they chase anybody. The police called and they cooperated fully. They didn't get a self-defense. A few later, a Baker County grand jury indicted them on first-degree premeditated. They also face aggravated battery, shooting into an occupied dwelling, and discharging a firearm in public. Now, Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts tried to use Florida Stand Your Ground law to get immunity. Sadly, a judge shut it down. In her reasoning, she said every right to fire back power shot. Once Powers had retreated, that right dissolved. I guess it doesn't matter that Devin Powers was still holding his shotgun when he got hit. Now, I spoke with Sissy Jones, who is fighting to get justice for Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts, and they said, quote, the Baker County Sheriff's Office, the state attorney's office, and the judge know that Jamarian and Travis were justified in their actions. Two armed men approached them and created a well-founded fear in everyone that day, and they responded like heroes. To charge them both with premeditated murder when those two men remained armed is purely evil, end quote. Now, Sissy, like others, are just having an issue with what appears to be a two-tier justice system. Stand your ground is pretty clear. If someone shoots at you, don't you have a right to defend yourself? Now, Jamarian Byrd and Travis Roberts are sitting in jail waiting for trial, all for the crime of protecting their neighbors from an armed individual. This is Monique with the Black Belt Daily, signing out.
Okay, so I hope everyone was able to get a idea of the scenario. That's interesting. Someone here, the notorious BJ, says this is the same quote unquote stand your ground law that allowed Zimmerman to get away with actual murder. Also, I could have sworn premeditation requires planning and intention. Someone else says they can't deny us guns, so they are denying us the access to the laws that protect the use of them. I like that comment. That's a good comment. John the Don says we need the name of the prosecutor and the DA's office. Florida lawmakers and judiciary need to be investigated. How can the same state that justified the killing of Trayvon Martin, as he had no weapons, no criminal record, and was in the neighborhood of his father when he got murdered by George Zimmerman, who took it upon himself to pursue, initiate conflict, and then just claim self-defense? You're telling us that this state, they allow all of this to happen and a teenage black will get murdered in cold blood, but they want to try to railroad these two fathers for saving their family members, including their kids? This should spark national outrage, because all of these conversations of good guys with guns being the reason why America should continue to sell guns. It was just laughable when you look at a case like this, or they want to try to hold these men accountable for ending a threat to their lineage. This white fire at an entire family. That is more than just threatening someone's life. That is threatening someone's lineage. I'll leave it there with the comments from them. The caption of this video, by the way, says, after gunfire broke out in the neighborhood, two black men who returned fire are now being charged with first-degree murder, raising serious questions about how self-defense laws are applied in real situations. With that said, let me throw it to the panel. Let me start with Kofi, the Black critic. Kofi, what say you to what you just heard?
I really don't know what to say. I'm kind of like speechless, but I'm not surprised. I don't know what to say. This is insane. This is blatant, and the fact that I have not heard about this is troubling. It shows that shows like this, like what you have right here, is very beneficial, and we need in the Black community, because I have not heard of this. Because I think if this really got national attention, then the bad white people and the white people that's in purgatory, and along with everybody else, it will shine a spotlight in Florida, and it's going to make them look really bad with all the points that everyone just brought up. Like I said, Florida is a red state. It's been a red state pretty much forever. It's not even purple. I mean, with them being in the system right now, I don't know if they need to get. I don't know what the criminal defense attorney is. I just think that we need as a community, as a Black community, is see what their legal defense team is and what's representing them, because that is a total mistrial. Now, that's the first thing that came to mind. One of those comments that you read was like, the charges alone is is ridiculous. Premeditated murder. So they planned all that. They planned to be at that particular intersection where these white clan Neanderthals to come to do that, just so they just have a shootout in an intersection. That's what the defense will have to prove, which they can't prove. So that's going to get thrown out. Like, these charges should be a total mistrial. It should be a total mistrial. But again, it depends on their defense team. You know, because I would be going to the DA saying this shit needs to be thrown out. What you doing? This is ridiculous. Because at the end of the day, if this happens, I'm just gonna take it. I'm just gonna take it to the Supreme Court. I'm just gonna take it to a higher court, because there's no way this should fly. These charges should not stick. Like, I don't know. I'm just interested to see what everyone else is gonna say. But again, they're in the system. All I can say is that what's their defense team? It shouldn't take a Gene's defense team to have this case thrown out. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, recently though, we've been seeing some defense teams that couldn't hit the side of a bond properly when it comes to black black folks and getting them off some shit. I forgot to mention this in the last topic, but it kind of came up again in this topic. KW Don 7 gave me a super chat. In the last topic, shout out to KW Don 7. He says, I don't have time to filter out good white people. Besides, they will revert to save them. They will revert to save when it's all said and done. So shout out to KW Don 7. Thank you for the $5 holler, as they say. Also, shout out to Daily Affirmations by Pauline, who joined us earlier, as well as Brother Everett, who joined us as well, who says race first family, Brother Everett. So shout out to them for being here. Back to Shoot the Breeze topic number 2. When is it okay for black people to defend themselves? Sister Cheryl, what ideas, what thoughts do you have? Is Cheryl here? I see Cheryl in the chat. Is Cheryl up here? If you are, you're muted. Okay, maybe Cheryl's not available right now. Let's go to Brother Bakari. Brother Bakari, what say you?
You damn right you had a right to defend yourself. Gerard Williams in 2015 in Miami, Florida, shot and killed a white guy for trying to attack him in the Waffle House. He got off. I was looking for the guy in Nashville, Tennessee that killed a white guy pranking like he was going to do something to him. And he shot him in the chest and killed him. And he got off. Is the law against us? Yeah. But you had a right to damn defend yourself. You had a right to damn defend yourself. And as long as people thinking you don't have the right to defend yourself because they going to do this and they going to do that, they going to keep doing what they do to you. You had a right to defend yourself. And guess what? And if more of us start to defend ourselves, the shit we complain about the courts won't do, guess what? The people that's doing stuff to you will stop doing it because they understand there's consequences that come with it. So you had a right to always stand your ground and defend your damn self. And I don't even want to be with nobody talking about, man, we can't defend ourselves because, man, some shit hop off with them folks and y'all worry about what's going to happen because you can't defend yourself. Shit, you're going to have a problem with me too. I'm just going to be honest with you. So you had a right to defend yourself, period, point blank. Sometimes, as a matter of fact, if you're talking about you're a real revolutionary, sometimes you just got to say fuck their law anyway. Pardon my friend. You got to say the hell with their law, the hell with what they're going to say. It's either him or her or me. It's one of them or me. Rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. You had a damn right to defend yourself. I get it, Mike.
I wonder when this happened. Maybe this is revenge. I mean, I think the court, I don't know what's going on. It's still ongoing case. I don't know if you guys, I think it was like a week or so ago, there was a black woman in the Walmart parking lot and the white guy kept harassing her. She pulled her gun out and he just kept harassing her and killed him dead on the spot. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know when this happened. Maybe it's just retribution for the black woman defending herself. And there's videotape of it. So, you know, there's no denying that. So I just wonder how old this case is.
I want to say they said 2023, but I could be tripping. believe it was in 2023. So is Sister Cheryl back? I see you in the chat, but I don't hear you on the panel. I guess not. So let's go to Icon 5. Icon, what say you?
Yes. How I see this thing, I can only approach it on a global level. You feel me? Only on a global level. This is how I would approach it. White people is the custodian of America. Everybody is under white people. So what I mean is they own a whole military complex industry. You feel me? So yes, we should stand up for ourselves inside America and fight for ourselves. But actually it's still you're still depending on them for your life, because they can actually practically wipe you out if they want, right? All right, okay. But this is what I'm saying. White America understands a lot. So we actually taking them real simple. We actually underestimating white people. And I'm telling our black people not to underestimate our enemies. They enslave us for 500 years. You think they stupid? You feel me? So what I'm trying to say is, look how they invented ADOS and FBA. What was the motive? They have a motive. They wanted to let African American burn their bridges. The bridges that have been built, they want you to burn it. You feel me? So so it's like they want the Caribbean not to care when you are dying. It's the same thing in South Africa. White people is doing this. They don't want the Caribbean to care when you are dying. They don't want the Africans to care when you are dying. That's why they make the African Americans spew so much venom. They think it's harmless, but it's very harmful, because you don't know what white people is setting up for you. You there making enemies with your family. And these white people is be like, yeah, nigga. Because when we get you, when they gonna see us torturing you and don't say nothing. And I don't like that, because white people can only get hurt if you put them in the grave or affect their pocket. Those are the only two ways you can affect white people. You feel me? And Africa can affect white people. Africa can sanction white people. It can. You feel me? And white people know that. But we don't know that, because we are more attracted to hate more than understanding our association and how powerful our association is or can be. You feel me? So I think that's what's going on, where white people are understand that they have created a hatred apparatus, practically disconnected. I mean, these things are they even go as far as to say we are disconnecting the lineage called the delineation. They even go as far as to say we're disconnecting the lineage. I mean, like the audacity and the along with from caucasity. It all came from there. You feel me? We don't understand what's going on. How can you cut off your blood? We don't understand what's going on. And same thing with South Africa. South Africa is making the black people chase away the blacks so they can, when they are ready to put gunshot on you, a lot of Africans will be happy. A lot of Africans gonna be like, yeah, you fucker, you. You feel me? You didn't know that's what gonna go on. You understand? And it's just a tragedy how we behave, and we need protection. We need security apparatus, and we need to do a global black security apparatus where anyone get hurt, all get hurt. You feel me? And all defend the one that's hurt. That type of stuff we need to do, because only if you can say, okay, because America has a whole bunch of mining companies all over Africa and a whole bunch of different companies all over Africa. If you can affect these, their internal policy can be changed. You feel me? And there is where on a broad level the white society will understand that you can't hurt these people because it will affect you financially. It will affect your industries. And the little we can do, I think that's what we should do. Like associate ourselves so that the world of blacks will understand that we have to defend each other. And that's what I have to say, because I don't know what to say about the internal part, because you can't defend yourself against these people. Of course you can do your thing. But if they say, okay, we come, and of course it's good to take out one, especially if you know you're gonna go. Of course it's better to take one with you or some with you. I agree with all of that stuff. You feel me? But they just gonna pull off some type of revenge type of thing, and a lot of us gonna get hurt more. It's just a tricky thing. And I say that doing it on a global scale, because some of it is we getting ourselves too close to white people. We it's just like these. It's the same thing like the dude that be dying in the island or in the lakes. It's the same thing. We don't just deal with them on the work association level. We want to go social with them, boating and hunting and all. I thought that African Americans knew better than that, than to go on water with white people. It's like you're supposed to know that. You don't go on water with white people. You don't go in the bush with white people. You feel me? You don't go no isolated areas with white people. Stay in the cities with them, and you more than likely be good. You feel me? But all this going in these strange places with them, we need to stop that stuff. They destroying us. But I'm done. I don't know what to say about nothing like that. All I know is we need to be more race conscious, situational conscious.
That reminds me of a story one time when I had a job. I was working in Massachusetts, and there's white people up there that they like to play baseball. They said, hey guys, only me and one of my coworkers, another black guy. They was like, oh, we're going to this field over here to play baseball. I was like, what field is that? And oh, the field over there. I'm like, okay, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And my black friend was like, nah, you telling black people to meet you at a field that we don't know about? Fuck that. I ain't going to that. And everyone started laughing. Because out there, we just know that there's racist people there. We just know that. And the white people who we hanging out with, I'm frank. I'm frank with them. You know what I'm saying? My friend, us being only black people there, we're not playing. Okay, we know how you are. We just work together, but y'all white and y'all racist out here. You know what I'm saying? So if you invite me somewhere, I ain't just going to just any place where I don't know about. But yeah, I can fire. I feel you.
Out that job too much longer after that, I bet.
Yeah.
No comment.
Man, I can tell you stories about that job, man. Yeah, they kind of excommunicate me out that job, man. But yeah.
In the chat, since Sister Show is unavailable on the panel, in the chat, Sister Show says, I want black people to ask themselves a question. If the U.S. military fell today, do you really think those whites you call your friend won't change up? She says, if we can be raw, at most during war, they will keep you alive for their sexual gratification and entertainment. Ouch. But I feel you on that, Sister Cheryl. With that said, man, just moving down the line. Black Steel, you've heard everything everyone else had to say. What say you to all of it?
Man, that's an ugly situation these brothers are in. I hope they beat the case. I hope they have good representation in the law. Black people should be able to defend themselves whenever they feel the need to defend themselves, right? The right to self-defense does not come from some laws printed on paper, right? That is something that is innate to every living thing. So I don't care how many people you try to lock up. Black people are going to defend themselves, be it with their fists, be it with a blade, with a gun, anything you can get your hands on, defend themselves. Do not let these people treat you as if you are a lamb to be led to the slaughter. All right. Many of the comments are on the thing that make a lot of sense, right? Because the whole idea they're saying, oh, it was premeditated. Premeditation can happen in seconds, right? And that's what the prosecution is going to try to prove. But the fact that this man still had the weapon on him, yes, they were retreating, but he still had the gun on him. Who's to say he didn't have another round in the chamber? So they did right to make sure the threat was neutralized. And one thing that we learned when I took my class to get my gun is that you shoot to stop. You shoot to neutralize the threat. So until that threat has been completely neutralized, you don't stop. Now, once the threat is neutralized, then you stop. But if this man is still armed, and you know, in a sane world, in a world where people are smart and the law is the law, this would be an open and shut case. This wouldn't even went to no trial. But because we live, first off, Florida is racist as hell, right? Florida used to be a purple state, you know, back when Obama was still president, right? And we may have a Democratic governor soon because they're fucking up. But this is the most racist, backward state. I hate when people say Florida's not really the South. Have you been to Florida? You think because we got a few nice beaches? If we got a few nice beaches and you got a couple of Cubans and Puerto Ricans, we're not the South. The world's largest Confederate flag flies over the junction of I-75 and I-4 in Hillsborough County, Florida. The biggest one in the world. It was so big they had to get it custom made. So don't tell me that Florida ain't the South. Malcolm X said, if you south of the Canadian border, you in the South. When it comes to racism. And he was so on point. But yes, black people defend themselves. These white people are emboldened by the actions of their pedophile. Somebody called him Pervert Hoover. Instead of Pervert Hoover, the pedophile in chief. These people are emboldened by his actions. We got to be ready to protect ourselves at a moment's notice. That means we arm ourselves. It means we travel in groups. I don't feel comfortable. And my son, he's 22 years old. He has a car, He goes to work. He goes out with his friends, whatever. I don't feel comfortable letting him just go to the store because I know how these white people are. They feel like they can pick on you if you're by yourself. Okay. I'm always armed. Always. I don't go to work. I don't go to school. I don't go to the Walmart without having my gun on me. Because that's what you have to do in this scenario. And yes, by all means legal, do what you got to do. But sometimes what's moral ain't legal and what's legal ain't moral. All right. So you got to do what you got to do to protect yourself. I'll leave you there. Thank you.
Let's do the scrap.
Black Steel have that thing.
Oh, that's why they call you Black Steel. That's why they call you Black Steel, because you got the steel.
I try to keep it on me, man. I try to go to the range at least twice a month, And my daughter went to the Army, and she actually went to the Army. She came back. She actually became a better shot than I was. So, we had like a little competition going. But I'm always shooting. I'm always protecting myself. I want more guns because you never know. These people are crazy. You got to protect yourself at all times.
I know, Coco, I'm going to cut you off, but I'm going to repeat what Brother Bakari keeps saying. And we have to do this. We have to have a Shoot the Breeze conference, like a conference where a meet and greet Shoot the Breeze conference where everybody could meet. We need to pick a destination where we all could just meet. I would like to do that because, you know what I'm saying, I want to be in the game of range. I can learn a lot from you guys physically, say that I can't learn over a conversation. I just want to say that. I think we need to plan that.
I appreciate that, and I second that, Brother Kofi. Sister Cheryl's back. Cheryl, what are your thoughts on everything you heard us discussing during Shoot the Breeze topic number 2? When is it okay for Black people to defend themselves?
So if I'm just responding strictly to the question, like it's never okay for Black people to defend themselves because look at what's happening. like they don't and this is the thing about Black people who have been in this country for 400 years, right? Black people who come to this country who say, I'm an American now. Like, you're not an American. Like that goes for both groups. You're not American in the same way that white people are Americans. You're just not. You might be able to get a pension. You might be able to get a house. The eyes of the law, you're not able to defend yourself. Not at least not in the same way that white people defend themselves because you're not American. You're not really. You're just here. You're here because it's necessary for you to be here because America needs they need a robust economy. That's why we're here. And I think people we get lost up in the American dream. We kind of lose sight of that a little bit. And that's why I say it's really good to let go as much as you can. I'm not saying oh, get rid of all material things, but it's good to kind of slowly get away from those type of things. Like when people are like, oh, I got this car and I got this house and I got this job and da da da. We gotta really focus. If we can't do it, we have to start instilling that in our children because there's never going to be a situation or a scenario where your children and their children get into an altercation and you come out on top over them. It's not going to happen in droves. Like it's not going to happen like a whole lot. You might get one or two instances where they have to because it was so they the people the white people were so wrong. But you're never going to get like all of these situations where the black person wasn't in the wrong and they didn't get prosecuted and the white person did. That's never going to happen. That's never going to happen because you're not American. You're not a real American. You're not Americans. Like you are not white bread Americans. So like it's hard. Um, it's like really a hard pill to swallow. I think for a lot of black people, and that's why they tend to react to these scenarios that happen. They tend to react this way, like, oh, but if it happened to a white person, then we wouldn't be having this conversation. Duh, because they're white, because this is their country. And we think we bought into integration so hard that we believe that this is our nation. We believe this is our country. If this is your country, you have some say so in these cases where it's blatantly obvious that the white person was in the wrong or the white person was murdered. He engaged in murder. Like that alone tells you you're not an American. Whether you came over here an immigrant or you've been a country, it doesn't matter. Like still a nation. Like you American, not because should be considered, but never
Is Sister
okay.
Cheryl, is Sister Cheryl breaking up or is
Yeah.
that just me?
I think that's your side.
Breaking up. I can't hear what she's saying.
Huh? I'm breaking up?
Yeah. Sister Cheryl, are you still on the wireless earbuds? Okay, I guess Cheryl left. But yeah, if they tell you not to use wireless, to use wired earbuds.
Hello?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Barely. You know, this 5G ain't worth nothing. I swear to God, I just switched over to this new phone and it's worth crap. Hold on.
All right, we'll come back to you, Sister Cheryl. Man, what's going on with the chat? The chat is real quiet. Trigger Happy 262 Plus says, fully reject Americanism and American identity is a must. I appreciate that.
Oh, this phone is
Um,
awful.
you know what? If there's no last thoughts from Bakari or Black Steel, let's go to Shoot the Breeze topic number 3 tonight. I was hoping the folks who were here would have stayed. This is a topic I really would like to hear people's thoughts on. I came across this image the other day, and I thought it was an interesting thing. Shoot the Breeze topic number 3 says, do you think there might be something to this? What are we talking about? This comes with a link that's going to take us to X. So on X, yeah, you guys see my screen. On X, I'll read the caption last.